What if I told you the most powerful intelligence agency on the planet once spent $20 million turning a cat into a spy? Not a robot cat, not a metaphor, a real, living, breathing cat, surgically wired up and sent into the field. It got hit by a taxi. That's not the dumbest thing on this list. That's just number one. The CIA had an unlimited budget, the best engineers money could buy, and zero accountability. So what did they build? 15 gadgets so catastrophically bad, they read like a rejected sketch show script, except they're declassified, documented, real. By the end of this video, you'll question every spy movie you've ever watched, and everything you thought competent government looked like. Today, we're diving into 15 of the dumbest, most bizarre, and most expensive spy gadgets the CIA actually built. Let's descend into the CIA's greatest failures. Gadget number 1, Acoustic Kitty, the $20 million cat spy. In the 1960s, the CIA had a brilliant idea: surgically implant listening devices into cats and train them to spy on Soviet officials. Project Acoustic Kitty cost over $20 million. Surgeons implanted a microphone in a cat's ear canal, a radio transmitter at the base of its skull, and a wire antenna woven into its tail. The first field test? The cat was released near a Soviet compound in Washington, D.C. The mission? Walk to a park bench where two men were talking and record their conversation. The cat immediately wandered into traffic and was hit by a taxi. The CIA spent 5 years and $20 million to prove that cats don't follow orders. The project was terminated in 1967. The cat died doing what it loved, ignoring humans. Gadget number 2, Insectothopter, the dragonfly that couldn't fly. In the 1970s, the CIA built a miniature, unmanned aerial vehicle disguised as a dragonfly. It was one of the first micro-drones ever created. The Insectothopter was powered by a tiny gas engine and could theoretically fly up to 200 meters while carrying audio surveillance equipment. The problem? It couldn't handle wind. Even a light breeze would send it spinning out of control. The CIA tested it outdoors exactly once. A gentle crosswind blew it off course immediately. The operators lost control. The dragonfly crashed. The project cost millions and was abandoned. The Insectothopter now sits in the CIA museum as a monument to over-engineering. It was the world's most advanced dragonfly. It just couldn't do the one thing dragonflies do: fly. Gadget number 3, Exploding Seashells, Castro's beach trap. The CIA's obsession with killing Fidel Castro produced some of history's dumbest assassination plots. One of the strangest, exploding seashells. Castro loved scuba diving. CIA operatives knew his favorite diving spots, so they created a large, colorful seashell packed with explosives. The plan? Place it on the ocean floor where Castro would find it. When he picked it up to examine it, it would detonate. The problem? How do you guarantee Castro will pick up that specific shell? The ocean floor is covered in shells. The CIA eventually abandoned the plan because they realized it was more likely to kill a random tourist than Castro. Castro survived over 600 assassination attempts. The exploding seashell wasn't one of them. It never made it past the planning stage. Gadget number 4, Pigeon Camera. Birds with tiny cameras. During the Cold War, the CIA trained pigeons to fly over Soviet military installations while wearing tiny cameras. The pigeons were fitted with lightweight cameras that would automatically take photographs during flight. The birds were trained to fly specific routes and return to base. It actually worked. Sort of. The problem was the pigeons couldn't be controlled. They'd get distracted by food, other pigeons, or predators. Sometimes they'd just fly home early. Sometimes they wouldn't come back at all. The photos were often blurry, taken from the wrong angle, or showed nothing useful, just sky, trees, and the occasional bird's foot blocking the lens. The CIA eventually replaced pigeon cameras with satellites. Satellites don't get distracted by breadcrumbs. Gadget number 5, the rectal toolkit. Exactly what it sounds like. The CIA developed a small capsule containing escape tools, saw blades, drills, and lockpicks, designed to be hidden in a spy's rectum. The logic was sound. If captured, a spy would be strip-searched, but internal body cavity searches were less common. The problem? The capsule was uncomfortable, difficult to retrieve in an emergency, and required, let's say, significant commitment to operational security. Worse, if a spy was captured and tortured, they'd likely reveal the capsule's existence anyway. And if they didn't reveal it, they'd have to retrieve it under extreme stress while imprisoned. The CIA eventually decided that hiding tools in shoes, belt buckles, and hollow coins was more practical. The rectal toolkit was quietly discontinued for obvious reasons. Stay with me, because what's coming next gets even more absurd. We're about to talk about poison cigars, heart attack guns, and a plan to make Castro's beard fall out. The CIA's war on common sense is just beginning. Gadget number 6, the poison cigar, Castro's deadly smoke. Another Castro assassination plot, poison cigars. The CIA knew Castro loved cigars, so they created cigars laced with botulinum toxin, one of the deadliest substances on Earth. A single puff would be fatal. The plan was to infiltrate Castro's cigar supply and replace his favorite brand with the poisoned versions. The problem? Castro received cigars from dozens of sources. He had people taste test them. He didn't smoke every cigar he received. The poisoned cigars were prepared and ready, but the CIA couldn't figure out how to get them to Castro without getting caught. The operation was abandoned. The cigars were destroyed. Castro smoked cigars for decades and died of natural causes at age 90. The CIA's cigars never got close. Gadget number 7, depilatory powder, the beard removal plot. In the early 1960s, the CIA developed a plan to destroy Castro's image by making his iconic beard fall out. They created a depilatory powder, a chemical that causes hair loss, and planned to dust it in Castro's shoes. When he put them on, the powder would be absorbed through his skin, causing his beard to fall out. The CIA believed that without his beard, Castro would lose his revolutionary mystique and the Cuban people would stop following him. The plan was never executed, probably because someone finally asked, what if he just grows it back? Also, the powder would have caused all his hair to fall out, not just his beard. Bald Castro might have been even more intimidating. The operation was shelved. Castro kept his beard. Gadget number 8, the heart attack gun, the frozen poison dart. The CIA developed a gun that fired a tiny frozen dart made of shellfish toxin. The dart would penetrate clothing and skin, melt instantly, and cause a heart attack within minutes. The victim would feel nothing more than a mosquito bite. The toxin would leave no trace in an autopsy. The perfect assassination weapon. It actually worked. The CIA demonstrated it to Congress in 1975 during the Church Committee hearings. So why is it on this list? Because the CIA admitted they never successfully used it in the field. Every time they tried, something went wrong. Wrong target, wrong timing, or the dart missed. They built the perfect, untraceable murder weapon. They just couldn't hit anyone with it. Gadget number 9, the dead rat spy, the rodent radio. The CIA created hollowed-out dead rats stuffed with transmitters and listening devices. The idea was to place them in enemy facilities where they'd be ignored as common pests. The problem? Dead rats smell badly. Within hours, they'd be discovered and thrown out. The CIA tried preserving them with chemicals. That made them look fake. They tried fresh rats. Those decomposed too quickly. They tried mechanical rats. Those looked obviously fake and made noise when they moved. The dead rat spy program was abandoned after field tests showed that janitors immediately threw them away. The CIA learned an important lesson. If you want to hide a listening device, don't put it in something people instinctively want to remove. Gadget number 10, the invisible ink that wasn't. The invisible ink disaster. For decades, the CIA used invisible ink for secret communications. The ink was only visible under UV light or when treated with specific chemicals. In the 1950s, they developed a new formula that was supposed to be undetectable by any known method. It wasn't. The Soviets figured out how to detect it within months. Worse, the CIA didn't know the Soviets had figured it out. For years, they kept using the invisible ink while the KGB read every message. Dozens of operations were compromised, agents were captured, networks were destroyed. The CIA only discovered the problem when a defector revealed that the KGB had been reading their invisible ink messages for years. The invisible ink was very visible. The CIA just didn't know it. Stay with me, because we're about to uncover robot fish, mind control drugs, and a plan to fake the second coming of Christ. The CIA's creativity was matched only by their complete lack of common sense. Gadget number 11, Charlie the robot fish. The underwater spy. In the 1990s, the CIA developed Charlie, a robotic fish designed to swim into enemy harbors and collect water samples, take photographs, and plant listening devices. Charlie was incredibly advanced. It looked like a real fish. It swam like a real fish. It could operate for hours underwater. The problem? It was too slow. Real fish swim faster. Predators would attack it. Fishermen would catch it. During one test, Charlie was eaten by a larger fish. During another, it was caught in a fishing net. During a third test, it simply stopped working and sank. The CIA spent millions developing Charlie. They eventually replaced it with actual submarines. Charlie now sits in the CIA museum, stuffed, ironic. Gadget number 12, MK Ultra Mind Control. The mind control disaster. From 1953 to 1973, the CIA ran MK Ultra, a program to develop mind control techniques using LSD, hypnosis, and torture. They dosed unwitting subjects with LSD to see if they could control their minds. They couldn't. People just got high and acted unpredictably. They tried hypnosis to create Manchurian candidate assassins. It didn't work. Hypnotized people won't do things that violate their core values. They tried sensory deprivation, electroshock therapy, and verbal abuse. None of it produced reliable mind control. The program cost millions, destroyed lives, and accomplished nothing. The CIA couldn't control minds. They just traumatized people and violated human rights. MK Ultra was exposed in 1975. It remains one of the CIA's greatest scandals. They wanted super spies. They created PTSD patients. Gadget number 13, Operation Northwoods, the fake terrorist attack. In 1962, the CIA proposed Operation Northwoods, stage fake terrorist attacks on American soil, blame Cuba, and use it as justification to invade. The plan included hijacking planes, bombing US cities, sinking boats, and creating fake casualty lists. It was approved by the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It went to President Kennedy's desk. Kennedy rejected it immediately and fired the people who proposed it. Operation Northwoods wasn't a gadget, it was a plan. But it belongs on this list because it shows how far the CIA was willing to go. They were ready to kill American citizens to justify a war. The plan was declassified in 1997. It's now public record. The CIA's dumbest idea wasn't a gadget. It was thinking they could get away with domestic terrorism. Gadget number 14. The fake second coming of Christ. During the Cold War, the CIA considered using holograms and loudspeakers to fake the second coming of Christ over Cuba. The plan: project a giant hologram of Jesus in the sky above Havana, use loudspeakers to broadcast a voice telling Cubans to overthrow Castro and watch the revolution unfold. The CIA believed Cubans were religious enough that a fake Jesus would inspire them to rebel. The plan was never executed, probably because someone pointed out that the technology didn't exist yet. People would figure out it was fake. It was insane. The CIA seriously considered faking the return of Christ to overthrow a government. That's not espionage. That's a Scooby-Doo plot. Gadget number 15. The pigeon-guided missile. The bird-guided bomb. During World War II, behaviorist B.F. Skinner convinced the military to fund Project Pigeon, missiles guided by pigeons. Pigeons were trained to peck at images of targets. The pecking would control the missile's flight path. 3 pigeons per missile for redundancy. It actually worked in tests. The pigeons could guide the missiles accurately. The problem? The military couldn't take it seriously. Generals couldn't accept that the future of warfare depended on pigeons pecking at screens. The project was cancelled, then revived, then cancelled again. By the time they finally gave up, radar-guided missiles had been invented. Project Pigeon proved that just because something works doesn't mean it's a good idea. the pigeons were more reliable than the humans who funded the project. Stay with me, because the pattern we've uncovered isn't just about bad gadgets. It's about what happens when unlimited budgets meet zero accountability. And the question is, what are they building now? 15 gadgets, millions of dollars, zero successful operations. Every single one of these projects was approved, funded, and built by the most powerful intelligence agency in the world. So here's the question. If these are the declassified failures, what are the classified ones? The CIA has a black budget of billions of dollars, no oversight, no accountability, no requirement to justify spending. These gadgets aren't just funny stories. They're evidence of an organization with unlimited resources and no consequences for failure. Acoustic Kitty cost $20 million. That's 100 teacher salaries. That's a new school. That's healthcare for thousands. Instead, it bought a cat with a wire in its tail that got hit by a taxi. The Cold War is over, but the CIA's budget isn't. So what are they building now? What's the next Acoustic Kitty? We won't know for 50 years, when it's finally declassified, when it's too late to matter. If this video made you question how your tax dollars are spent, hit that subscribe button, because this channel dives deep into the classified, the declassified, and the stories they don't want you to know. The government's secrets, the failed operations, and the truth hiding in plain sight. Drop a comment and tell me, which gadget was the dumbest? And what do you think the CIA is building right now that we'll laugh about in 50 years? Share this video, because the only way we hold power accountable is by talking about it. Next video, we're uncovering historical mysteries that still have no explanation. You don't want to miss it. Subscribe, comment, share, and remember, just because it's classified doesn't mean it's smart. See you in the shadows.